We know there are a variety of things that impact the stock market. But did you know that a presidential election year might be on your ballot? That's right. Campaigning can help cast votes on whether the stock market will be a winner or if it will lose in a landslide. Certified financial planner Jim Lineweaver is here to analyze these possible outcomes for us. Jim is with the Lineweaver Financial Group. Welcome, welcome here in this presidential election year.
Yes, good year.
So we're about 6 months into the whole campaign process. How has the market done so far?
Well, actually, the first quarter was off to a great start. As a matter of fact, January was one of the best years in a very long time because the NASDAQ was up 8%, the S&P was up 3.4%, and the Dow was up 4.4%. That's the best showing for the Dow and the S&P since 1997. So
goodness.
It really has come a long way. But people can't get into overexuberance either because there may be some slowing down around the corner too.
Okay, so it could be a winning year, but we have to be careful. So what normally does happen in an election year like this?
Well, since 1926, what we've seen is on average, the market usually returns about 11%. Not all the time, because, averages create some highs and some lows, but traditionally speaking, a lot of the government, what they're going to do is they're going to put a stimulus in the prior year so that in the election year, positive attitudes, which should reinforce the election of the president that's in force, yeah.
Okay. So what you're saying that even with some uncertainty, because there always is in the market, presidential campaign years seem to be good, up?
They do,
good outcomes?
Yeah. Matter of fact, even going back to 1900, and we have a chart for your viewers, but what occurs is since 1900, there's actually only been, 6 down years since the, in any time of the elections. Unfortunately, 2008 wasn't one of the greatest years, but it was traditionally an up year for the market.
Okay, yeah, so you're talking about 2008. It was a down year. And that was an election year. So what happened? Could we see the same kind of thing happening this year?
Well, this isn't as easy as like throwing darts at a dartboard. So what happens is you had back in 2008 a lot of macro things going on. You had the banking crisis, you had real estate issues, you had a lot of stuff going on. So that all kind of manifested itself and created like a perfect storm, if you would. So that was a little bit of an anomaly. Things have alleviated some from them. The TARP money came back in. A lot of things are getting on firm ground, but we've had some bad unemployment reports in the last month or so. So, we're totally not out of the woods yet. I would expect more volatility and therefore caution going forward through the end of the year.
So do we not really know what's going to happen until after the election? Is that the idea?
Yeah, traditionally, you bring up a very good point because the majority of the gains in an election year are done after the election. So pay attention to what goes on in November, and then depending on how that shifts or if it stays, then you'll get some good signs as far as what should be happening in the end of the year, and it might be a good time to invest.
Okay, so do you have any suggestions what we do here in the meantime while we're waiting?
Yeah, what we've done actually is pull about 60% off the table. So we've seen a good run up in the market and we're being more cautious. We're putting them into income producing instruments that may be yielding the 4 or 5% range because we had a good run up for the first quarter, and then therefore nobody's really minding those type of returns, and then that October-November time frame is when we're going to readdress everything and possibly hopefully get some good fourth quarter results.
Does it matter who wins?
Yes, it does. I don't know if we want to talk politics on the show, but it will matter.
Okay. All right. Well, as always, it's good information. So until the polls close in November, we won't know for sure if the market benefited or backpedaled as a result of the elections. And while history has one vote for an uptick in the market, be sure to consider the other contenders in your financial plan before calling the race. For help, give Jim a call. His number is next.
For more information, call the Lineweaver Financial Group at 1-888-313-4009 or log on to www.lineweaver.net.